Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In today's episode, we look at passenger numbers for January at the Daytona Beach International Airport. We'll talk with Animal Services as their pet vet cruiser is hitting the road in March. And we head over to the Ormond Beach Library to see their newest addition. Later, in the Volusia Here and Now report, we tour the Deland Naval Museum. And in Solutions for Your Life, we visit the farmers market. Finally, joining Joanne Magley in the studio is Sandy Falcon with the Lyonia Enviornmental Center. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport increased 10.3% in January. During the month, 51,932 passengers flew in or out of the county-operated airport compared to 47,074 passengers last January. For the 12 months ending January 31st, total passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport remained very consistent. 632,312 passengers last year compared to nearly that same number, just one passenger more this year. The capacity or number of seats offered to Daytona Beach International Airport increased by 13% in January, directly related to more seats offered to the market and the addition of JetBlue service.
So for January, we were up 10%, which is great for us. And obviously a big part of that is JetBlue, which started January 7th. For the other carriers, American Airlines and Delta, we saw really flat year over year, which is a good thing because we added JetBlue. The only unfortunate thing about January is that we had 17 flights canceled between all of the carriers. So if we would have had those additional 17 flights, you would have seen our numbers a lot stronger than 10%. So it's really positive going forward. Hopefully we don't have any more major weather events in February here. So we're expecting very good things for February, March, and April as well.
For more information about available flights out of Daytona Beach International Airport, you can go online to flydaytonafirst.com. Each year, about 18,000 cats and dogs are euthanized in Volusia County, but thanks to Volusia County's Pet Vet Cruiser, residents in unincorporated areas of Volusia County, Deland, and South Daytona can get low-cost spay and neuter services. Since the mobile veterinary clinic started making rounds in 2007, more than 20,000 dogs and cats have been sterilized. The Volusia County Council launched this service to reduce the number of euthanizations and help people who cannot afford to have their pets sterilized.
The bus is a state-of-the-art bus, which is about 40 foot long, with all the state-of-the-art equipment that's needed to do spay and neuter surgeries.
Animal overpopulation is a problem in many communities. A significant amount of tax dollars is spent every year to care for lost, abandoned, and unwanted pets. And millions more are spent to euthanize those that were not fortunate enough to find a home. The greater the population of unwanted animals, the greater the incidence of rabies, dog bites, traffic accidents, and animal abuse.
It's safer for the animal. They tend to live longer. It's better for the animals. They don't reproduce. So we don't want any unwanted litters out there because so many animals are being euthanized and not enough homes for them. And it's also the law. In the unincorporated area, it is the law that you must have your animals spayed and neutered.
Sterilization reduces the risk of many types of cancer in cats and dogs. The Pet Vet Cruiser makes regular stops in Deland, Orange City, New Smyrna Beach, and Ormond Beach. Fees range from $15 to $65 depending on income. To schedule an appointment with the Pet Vet Cruiser, you can call 386-323-3575. For more information and to see the upcoming schedule of stops, you can visit volusia.org/animal control. If you found that the typeset in the books that you're reading seems to be getting smaller, head on over to the Ormond Beach Regional Library. It has the largest collection of large print books in Volusia County. Thanks to a generous donation from the late Peg and Bill Roberts, the Ormond Beach Regional Library has hundreds of large print books available for checkout. The Roberts retired to Ormond Beach from Rockville, Maryland in 1987 and spent many hours at their local library. The Friends recently dedicated a special section for the large print books and invited the Roberts' daughter, Ghana Dunlop, to help them celebrate.
They enjoyed the large print books because my dad had vision issues, and so over the years they made donations to the library, and then when my mom passed away, she donated a large sum of money to the Friends of Ormond Beach Library for specifically large print books.
The collection has been placed in the northeast corner of the library where large windows allow extra light. The Friends group purchased comfortable furniture and new shelving.
When we received the bequest from their estate, we were a little overwhelmed with the whole thing, and we decided to put together a whole new area of large print books. So we built a reading room area, and we are welcoming large print readers from everywhere. They're just learning about this new area, and we are so grateful to the Roberts family for it.
Large print books are available at each of the Volusia County Public Library System's 13 branches. For more information, you can call the Ormond Beach Regional Library at 386-676-4191, or you can visit volusialibrary.org.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Museums are the legacy of our culture and give context to the rich history of our society. Volusia Here and Now reporter Kendra Lee takes us on a tour of the Deland Naval Air Station Museum.
The Deland Naval Air Station Museum is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to commemorating the men and women who have served in America's armed conflicts. The museum is located just across the street from the Deland Municipal Airport. Before becoming a museum, it was also a municipal airport.
This museum started out, the house we have now, 1930s, was a civilian house, and families lived there. And then World War II came along, the Navy took it over, became Chief Master of Arms quarters, and his family lived there. Then after the war, they gave it back to the city. It sat abandoned for a little while, and then the city remodeled it into a museum.
Following extensive restoration effort, the building was dedicated in November 1995 and has become home to an impressive collection of historical artifacts, veterans' mementos, and military art. In 2001, the museum was placed on the National Register of Historic Places.
When we start out inside, we have a film of the pilot that landed this plane in the water. He's still alive and lives in South Florida. So we have a news film clip, we show them of that, show them about the plane. And in the museum, we have a little classroom which is dedicated to the original people here, the instructors and the students. We have a lot of photographs. And if you go out through the museum, we have a nice library. We have a lot of static displays and things you can see. You can spend, probably would take you a good 2 hours to do everything.
Two unique projects that can be toured by visitors include a large boat from the Vietnam War and a Tomcat plane from the Cold War.
We have two crews. We have a boat crew, which actually is a lot of touches, and we work on it Wednesday mornings and Saturday mornings, And we have a high school support group, Orange City High School. Boys work on the boat with us. And then the Tomcat, and we have a group from Embry-Riddle University works on that. And then the person that's in charge of it, he's a retired Navy pilot who flew Tomcats, and he's in charge of the airplane crew. One of our restoration workers was in World War II working on repairing bombers, B-17s and B-24s. So our crew is a mixed crew on restoration of the plane.
When visiting the Deland Naval Air Station Museum, you can find things here like this 81mm mortar with a .50 caliber on top. If planes, guns, and boats aren't enough to get you to the museum, the staff will be. Each staff member is a volunteer veteran with hundreds of stories to share. The museum is open from noon to 4, Wednesday through Sunday. For more information, visit delandnavalairmuseum.org. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Today on Solutions for Your Life, Jill Toffer, University of Florida Extension Agent here in Volusia County and a registered dietitian, visits the Deland Farmers Market and reviews the newly released dietary guidelines from the USDA.
Welcome to Solutions for Your Life. I'm Jill Toffer, registered dietitian and University of Florida Extension Agent here in Volusia County. Today we're at the Deland Farmers Market. We're here off State Road 44 at the Wednesday Market right at the fairgrounds. And we're going to be speaking with Paul Thomason from Thomason Farm. He's a local farmer and he's going to tell us about his family farm and also what the hot trends are in the winter garden.
Well, thanks, Jill. Well, Thomason Farms has been, my family started farming in Samsula in 1915. My great-grandparents farmed, my grandparents farmed. You know, my dad started farming in the early mid-70s, and now here in about 5 years ago, I started farming full-time on the family farm. About a third or half of our business is with restaurants, and that's kind of how we keep up with the hottest trends, the latest trends. And a lot of that involves like color and nutrition, you know, like rainbow colored carrots. Rainbow colored chards, Swiss chards is really hot. You know, the different types of kales. You know, we've got like the red Russian kales. We've got, you know, the typical curly kale, which everybody loves. We also have a Toscano kale that we grow. We also grow 4 or 5 different types of cauliflower, which we don't have in here today. 4 or 5 different color beets. Kohlrabi, which is just something you don't see. It's unique. You know, a lot of restaurants and stuff don't, like to have this because they don't see that in the grocery store. Also, like the Asian greens, like the tot soy and the bok choy, like the daikon radishes. These are, you know, because of nutritional value and because of the uniqueness of them, they're a hot commodity for shoppers and for restaurants as well. Each year we're trying to stay ahead of the curve and try to stay ahead and find out what restaurants want. And restaurants are really looking for uniqueness, for color, and for display purposes, and also for nutritional value. And it's the same thing with the consumers. You know, like with the Food Network, when people are cooking at home, everybody's looking to make their dishes pretty, and especially around the holidays. I've had so many people looking for colors and how can I prepare this and how can I design this, but a lot of people looking for the variety as well, for their home.
So as you can see, local farmers markets are a great place to find unique vegetables with a ton of nutritional values. To find out what market is close to your area, you can contact your city or you can go to the Fresh from Florida website, which lists farmers markets and also you pick sites. Thanks for watching our Fresh from the Market segment today. Hopefully you'll find the farmers market close to you and take advantage of the wonderful variety of fruits and vegetables. For Solutions for Your Life, I'm Jill Toffer.
Established by Congress in 1914, University of Florida IFAS Extension has been providing solutions for 100 years. We bring research-based information to individuals, businesses, and communities. As part of the land-grant university system, we have experts in every one of Florida's 67 counties. Our educational programs improve lives, build economies, and help protect the state's valuable natural resources. We're committed to providing reliable information that impacts the lives of every Floridian. As Florida continues to grow, UF IFAS Extension will be there to provide practical solutions to Florida's most challenging problems. University of Florida IFAS Extension, solutions for the next 100 years.
It's time to head into the studio and join the new Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, Sandy Falcon, with the Lyonia Environmental Center.
Thanks, Amber. Well, Volusia County has a rich natural environment, and the county's Lyonia Environmental Center in Deltona provides visitors with a unique insight into Volusia County's fragile ecosystems. Joining us today to talk about the Lyonia Environmental Center is Sandy Falcon, the center's manager. Welcome, Sandy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So first off, give us an overview of the Lyonia Environmental Center. It's not that old of a facility.
It's really not that old. We've been open for a little over 6 years, and we're located in the Deltona Regional Library Complex. We have a really great variety of options for people when they come in. The goal of the center is really to educate about scrub habitat, the preserve that we're adjacent to, and the species that live in that habitat. So all of our exhibits and our programs that we offer really are geared for families and schools to come learn about one of the most endangered habitats in Florida and the threatened species that live in that habitat.
So the center actually is an indoor facility, and then it has an outdoor campus. Let's start out with the indoor facility. Tell us what people can find once they go inside.
Well, when they come in the doors, the first thing they're going to see is a great breathtaking exhibit that shows you what scrub habitat really looks like. And the rest of the exhibits there are just lots of hands-on fun. They can learn about sinkholes, they can learn about the water's journey through the entire county, cross county, and how our behaviors can impact that water. They can learn a little bit about some sustainable building and development practices. We have computers that have really fun hands-on games for kids to play. And then we also have a whole section that is dedicated to the Florida Scrub Jay. That is kind of the purpose of the center there, is to teach about the scrub jay. It's a threatened bird, threatened species. It can only live in scrub habitat and only in Florida. So it's really important that people understand the importance of that bird and its habitat that it lives in.
So let's talk a little bit more about the displays that you have, because like you mentioned, most of them are hands-on, and they really give visitors and the students more of an interactive experience instead of a passive experience.
Absolutely. We do have a lot of signage that people can read and get more information, but it's really meant to be hands-on. Displays have buttons that kids can push so they can see different parts of the display light up. There's knobs that they can turn. There's things called gropes where there's just sort of a hole with some information, and they can stick their hand in that hole and kind of see what's in there. So there's just lots of real fun for little kids. We really had it designed so that little ones will still be able to interact, as well as grown adults as well. So there's something for all heights and ages and of people visiting. It's lots of fun.
Yeah, my favorite is the button that you push, and the big manatee will
blow air out.
Blow out,
and then you can hear the sounds too. You can hear 3 different sounds for the manatee, and then you push that one magical button, and their nostrils pop open, and it blows the air out, just like the manatees breathe when you see them in the river and the springs.
It gets a great reaction out of the kids and adults.
And the kids love to use it to scare their friends.
Yeah. So you also have a lot of classroom space inside the LEC. What types of programs do you use the classrooms for?
We have a variety of programs, really. We do offer school field trips. And so all of Volusia County schools are welcome to come out, and we have a 2.5-hour program that is really geared towards their curriculum and their curriculum map and the standards. So it's really easy for them to kind of work that into their curriculum that they're planning for the year. We also offer public programs on the weekends too. So we can offer anything from workshops, hands-on craft type programs. We have a lot of guest speakers that come in and utilize that classroom space to lecture on different topics. Those spaces are also available for outside entities to use for workshops. So a lot of Volusia County school teachers and curriculum developers will use them to host a workshop or host a teacher's meeting. We also have a lot of scout groups that come too. So scouts will often use that as a meeting space or a sort of starting point to then work into some badge requirement programs that we provide for them.
Yeah, I know our division helps you with monthly releases that you send out way in advance to let the public know all the different programs that you have offered, and most of the time they're free.
Absolutely.
And sometimes there's a charge maybe for supplies of materials.
There's usually a very small charge, if there is a charge, just to cover those materials, but we really strive to be a service to the community, and so we want to offer as much as we can for people to be able to attend for free. So we really work really hard to make sure that everything is accessible and affordable for anybody who wants to come.
Now, the center recently underwent a renovation. I know that there used to be a cafe right in the front, and that's no longer there. But instead, you took that space and you added a great addition to the LEC. Tell us a little bit about that.
We did. We actually shared that space. The library has half of that space, and we took over the other half of that space. And we've added a fantastic, super exciting live animal exhibit. We have our animal ambassadors, which are the different species that we have for our education programs. We have a 400-gallon saltwater invertebrate touch tank. We also have a live alligator exhibit. We have 4 juvenile alligators that are there. And we also have a tank that is dedicated to native species of the St. Johns River. And really the point of the room and the purpose of it is to tie in sort of the water flow across the county. What people don't really understand or always know is that scrub habitat is actually an ancient beach. And so hence the saltwater part of it. And then really educating people about the connection between scrub habitat and what they're learning there to the river and how we're connected to the river and to the springs. So we've kind of affectionately named the room the Blue Spring Room. We have a beautiful mural that was painted by a local artist and it depicts the entire spring run and shows manatees and alligators in it as well. So it just really is a true dedication to the interconnectedness of habitats in Central Florida and to the spring and to the St. Johns River.
So how long has that new addition been in place?
Just since October.
Wow.
We just opened right at the end of October, and so it has been welcomed with open arms. People just absolutely love it. We have lots of really fun invertebrates and different things that people can touch in that touch tank, and they can understand and learn. You know, a lot of people who live on the west side of the county may not always want to make it over to the beach. So this is kind of like bringing the beach and bringing the marine environment to them as well.
Okay, now let's go outside of the actual building, because I know you offer a lot of programs that are actually in the scrub habitat.
We do. We are adjacent to Lyonia Preserve, which is a 360-acre scrub habitat preserve. There's a little over 3 miles of hiking trails out there. And we often lead guided hikes in the preserve. We offer them twice a week for free, Mondays and Fridays at 9 a.m. And then the majority of our weekend programs, we will be offering hikes as well. So different topics of hikes. People can come out and learn about the scrub jays, the gopher tortoises, the different plants and animals, medicinal uses and historical uses of plants out there. We do GPS and geocaching programs where we'll set out a scavenger hunt and people can actually geocache and find a prize or a treasure at the end. We also teach about prescribed burns and management of the preserve as well. So there's a wide variety of what goes on out there.
What is geocache?
Geocaching is using a GPS unit and actually using GPS coordinates. And it's actually a nationwide or across the world sort of phenomenon where there are different caches or like hidden treasures almost that people will place in natural areas. And there's websites dedicated to it, and it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. You can go across the county, across the country, wherever you want, and really use these coordinates and find this hidden treasure. And kind of the point of it is you can take a little bit of whatever's in there and then you leave a little bit too.
Cool.
And so it's kind of a fun way for us to incorporate that and then teach people how to use a compass, how to use some outdoor navigation skills, some outdoor survival skills, and have something fun at the end.
So I know one of your programs that you do is Tiny Trekkers.
Yes.
And that involves the littlest of our environmental friends
Yes.
exploring
Absolutely.
the center.
Yes, Tiny Trekkers is such a great program. People absolutely love it. It's for 2 to 5-year-olds or 2 to 6-year-olds. And it's an hour long, and it's usually the first Saturday of every month.
Okay.
And then depending, we might offer a second one during that month as well. The participants come in with their parents, and they sit down and they have a story, and each month is a different book depending on whatever the theme of the month is, or a particular holiday that might be taking place. They read a little story, they do a craft, and then they go on a little mini hike. So they're still getting out into the environment and into the preserve and exploring without their little legs getting tired going on a 2-mile hike or something like that.
Right.
So it's really, really fun.
One more thing before we go, Sandy, is that there's actually a pretty large amphitheater that you have on the property at the center. What is that used for?
For a lot of different things. It's a great partnership that the county has with the city of Deltona. And so the city actually offers a monthly concert series throughout the summer that's free, and they have food trucks, and they have different types of music that's played. That amphitheater is actually available for rent through the city for other organizations who might like to use it, maybe have a concert. We've had a few gospel choirs have a concert there as well. And then we use it as well. It's a staging ground for our programming. We also use it in our education programs because the base of that amphitheater is actually pervious paving. So when it rains, the water percolates down into the aquifer. And so we actually use that as a teaching tool as part of one of our programs. And it's just a great place to hang out. I see people out there having lunch, sunning themselves, talking on the phone, just having a great time, a place to relax.
So Sandy, what are the hours of the Lyonia Environmental Center?
We are open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. until 5:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sundays from 1 until 5 p.m.
All right, well, Sandy, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm sure that everybody listening and watching has learned a lot about the Lyonia Environmental Center and all that it has to offer.
Great, thank you for having me, I enjoyed it.
All right, and Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council meeting calendar there too. You can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I am Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.